We're gonna start on time. So I just realized we get Addies on Wednesdays, but I said at the beginning, when we get closer and closer to where we're supposed to be, it's gonna get smaller and smaller. But before we start, I want to bring uh, first. Byron said he wanted to say something today. He back there politicking. You say what you got to say, and I want to introduce Street Doctor, and then David Muhammad. I want him to talk about something, and then all of this is very important.
Peace. Peace, brother. Walaikum salam. Yes, sir. I'm a little nervous, but so I work for NCST, Newark Community Street Team, and one of the things that we try to do is we try to reduce crime by preventing retaliation. So a lot of that comes into play with conflict resolution, you know. I wanted to ask today if I can get some, for it only, if we could just get some volunteers. Plus the holiday season is approaching, and you know, talking with the captain, he says that these are peak seasons for you know, break-ins or certain things of that nature. Try to see if we could, sir? I'm sorry. So I wanted to see if we could, if I can ask for some of you guys, some of the brothers to maybe if we can come together, get a little patrol going on in some of the hot spots that the captain deems to be hot spots, and then you know, one to start like November the 1st. One to just get a few hands if y'all interested. I apologize. Yes, sir. So I wanted to start November 1st, right before Thanksgiving, and then, you know, just work out our schedules, try to do that. We'll do some role playing. We'll get a little self-defense if we need it, you know, but we'll, you know, we have a little Zello on the walkie-talkies, and that's pretty much it. Thank you.
He said he's looking for volunteers, so he'll be here for that. I know we've been talking about people starting their own businesses, and I just want to bring Street Doctor up because he took us up on this offer, and I want him to go through the process that he went through. You know, people don't really pay attention to some of the stuff we talk, and he made talk into action.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Peace, family. Assalamu alaikum. God is good all the time. This is deep. In April, I retired. The mayor and I, we spoke, and he said, what happened? And I said, I'm going to move on. But what he didn't know, the little farms that he had, and which he's doing now, he was talking about all this money coming in the Newark. So what happened was, I said, wow. So I said, Mr. Mayor, I said, I can't work for you. And these contracts that's coming in because it'd be a conflict of interest. So I left and gave up because I believed it, what he said. And there's a lot of people here that believe back. So fast forward, shirt, I started off with this shirt. I drew this on here. Jobs for workers. On the back, it got this. So I don't have to wear this shirt no more. I just did this because I knew I was going to speak. So now, this shirt turned into this. I have a construction and a cleaning. And I want to say this before I close. Named Marvin Ellison. He's like the I's and crossing the T's. I'm that. But what I'm at, I go to the sites. I like to talk to the dogs. I like to ask, I'm here. Back in the day, I'm not ashamed of my record. Never told the bank I was coming to rob them. So what I flipped the script. They never know when I'm coming to them sites. And thank God for the mayor, Dave Muhammad, brother named BU and Angela, right? I retired from the affirmative action. So I knew what to do and everything that they not supposed to do. So fast forward, I have these, I'm gonna pass these out, and I'm looking for workers, man. And I gotta say this. We always complain, I'm talking about my people now. We always complain, man, need a job, I need a job. First paycheck, they gone. I can give y'all some stories, man, you won't believe. It's too cold. We lost one already. Thank God, just one, right? Never got back. And we they spend the night on them sites, man. But we do have workers, and this is, I'm gonna pass these out. And don't forget, we just started. We hit the ground running. And I thank the mayor personally, and I want to thank all the people that keep coming out and hearing him, and get some of this money, man. Peace.
So, you come on up, Brother Dave. This thing has got, can you hear this echo thing? So what Street didn't say is that he went to Newark Community Economic Development Corporation. They helped him get his LLC. He put it together. They put together a proposal, him and Marvin Ellison. They are trying to go after some of these cleaning contracts that we have in the city and other places like that. Going to show them how to do respond to bids, respond to RFPs, all those other kind of things. And in the meantime, try to get other work that's outside of the city as well. So he listened to what we said and said, you know what, I'm getting ready to make this happen. There's a couple other people that are doing the same thing. I just wanted to highlight that because some folks probably believe that we just in here talking. Some people are going to make their word their bond. Other people are going to sit around, for entertainment. But we all here for a reason, and Street Doctor moved forward on it. So,
thank the mayor, Street Doctor. I'm Dave Muhammad from the Mayor's Office of Affirmative Action, Newark City Hall. So, in the last meeting that was hosted by the mayor, Jerome Wakefield came from Purchasing Department to talk to us about how to get contracts with the city. Also, you must formulate your own business through the state. Just because you are black does not mean that you are certified with the state as a minority business enterprise. So, for example, when it lets projects, or if you see someone who's developing a project who's trying to get a tax abatement from the city, it is a city ordinance that they must have 25% of the dollars must be spent with a minority business enterprise. There's a project that is about to start. They're looking for a tax abatement. It's $30 million. $7,500,000 of that is to go to a minority business enterprise. So, how do you do that? If you already have a business established, you can go to the state of New Jersey's website, download the application to become a certified minority business enterprise, and then that process takes about 3 or 4 weeks. And then once you get your certificate, then you can bid on projects, or you can go and solicit business under that certification. That does not mean that you only solicit business under that, but you will be certified to do that. I have some copies of the application. You can get them from me. It also has the certification office and a person in the state, a gentleman by the name of John Cronin. He is the auditor, so that if you have any questions, what information you need, how long the process takes, how much it costs, et cetera, his contact information is on here. So I have some over here. So I tell you to take advantage of it. And just for the sake of conversation, what defines a minority? Many people think a Portuguese person is a minority. If you are Brazilian and you speak Portuguese, then you are considered a minority. But if you are Portuguese or you are Spanish and you come from those countries, Spain, Portugal, it's in Europe, then you would not be considered a minority. You are European. Islanders, as far as if you're from the Fiji Islands or you're an American Indian, you classified that, of course. If you're Black African, if you are an Egyptian and you wanted to apply for a minority business enterprise, the state will not allow you to do that. it has to be someone who's from Black Africa. So it looks like in the room that a lot of us, most of us would qualify for that minority business enterprise. So again, I have the applications here. I thank the mayor. So get them from us. If you have any questions, I'm here. Thank you.
So that's good information. Let me just make it clearer, because what he's saying is about contracts in terms of development. That's one side of it. So he talked about development. All of the development that's going on in the city, they need minority subcontractors to fulfill the law. You have to go online, or you get the application from him to fill it out, and qualify or certify yourself as a minority business in the state of New Jersey. But here's the other part of it. You know, at the last meeting we talked about how do we get these contracts. Part of the thing that I think he left out, and because he was talking fast, all of the contracts in the city also have to have minorities on the contract. So say you're not prepared or ready at this point to do the entire job, right? Say they're doing street paving, or they're laying pipes, or they're cleaning the building, or whatever contract they have to have a minority subcontractor. So it behooves us to find out all of those contracts that the city is getting, like all of that paper I sent y'all to say all of the contracts on it. I'm gonna bring that back again. You find that, and so you and your man, y'all just put it together like Street just put his business together. Suppose they don't have the capacity to be able to do all of the stuff that the RFP is asking them to do. What you can do is wait until somebody wins the bid, then go visit them. After they win the bid, you could go to them and do, excuse me, sir, I have that business. I live in the city of Newark. I'm a minority contractor. I have an MWBE certification from the state, and by law, 25% of this business that you're doing has to be given to a minority. And so I'm here to tell you that I qualify to be on this job site with you or to work on this place with you. And if they deny you, then you have the right to come see Brother Dave Muhammad at the Affirmative Action Office and say, I went to them and they don't have a minority subcontract, and I know the law says they have to have one, and I have my MWBE, and they told me to get out, right? You have a right to hunt them down and say, brother, you got to do X, Y, and Z, or we're going to fine you or take you off of the project unless you have minorities on the project. And so some people used to wonder why Street and them went to the construction sites and forced them to put people on a job because they had to do that by law. But it's just not construction. It's every contract the city has. And Jerome went over all of that stuff with you, so you should be getting yourself well versed in that and understand that you don't have to, because got discouraged. Because Jerome had a bit, right? It started making it sound all technical and this and that, and you felt like, oh, I can't do that. There's too much work involved. Too much. I'm going to leave it to somebody else to do. So, you and whoever you with, get your LLC, like Street did. Put an LLC together. And the great thing about an LLC is you can have many of them. You don't just have one, right? You put that together for that specific project. You fill out this application, you make yourself certified as an MWBE. Now you are qualified to be a subcontractor on all of these projects. If your thing is cleaning, if it's pipe, if it's water, whatever it is, you could be a subcontractor. And that's what we're trying to get you to do. We want us to be a part of solution. Get anybody to be a part of the solution. Now we passed out a list of all of the vacant land. Only 2 people said something to me. Now you can say something to other people. You don't have to say nothing to me. As a matter of fact, there's a whole office that you should deal with. Aziz was at the last meeting, so some people may have spoke to him. Only 2 people approached me. Only people. I gave you 6 pages of land, front and back. Only 2 people approached me and said, look, I'm interested in this, that, this, and this. What do I got to do? 2, right? So I just put that in my pocket and said, I'm going to give it some time, and I'm going to say something about it to the brothers, because we got to stop being about the business of poking our lip out. We got to stop being about the business of complaining about what somebody is not doing for you when you have not tried to do something for yourself. We have to get out of that. We have to now that you have the opportunity to make something happen, then make something happen. Now, you don't, if that's not what you want to do, that's cool. You don't have to. I'm not trying to force you to do anything that you don't want to do anyway. I'm just making a point that in the first meeting, we had well over 300 brothers. Well over 300 brothers. Easily. Meeting number 2, we had about the same. Meeting number 3, it went over a little over 100. And now here we are today. And at the first meeting, no, at the second meeting, I said, you know, what we're hoping for? They're hoping that we run out of gas because we don't have the stamina. That's what I talked about, the second meeting. Meaning, we are going to quit. We're going to quit. It's get too difficult, it's too hard, it's too long, too many meetings, people not cooperating, I don't want to sit down and listen to people talk, all kinds of excuses not to get the information. And the further we go, the more information we're getting. Is that right? People being from the first meeting to the meeting today, get more, and we're doing that on purpose. So we gradually giving you, because my thing is, if you're serious, then you're going to hang around until you get all the pieces of the puzzle. Right? And so we've been giving it out gradually so that when people get ready, they can say, oh, I got it. This is what I want to do. I'm going to make this happen. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It was 3 people that came to me. 3 gentlemen said something to me about they're going to make something happen. And I'm happy for them. I want that to take place. And I just want to thank also all of the brothers who showed up today in terms of being a Minutemen by Carver Elementary School. I'm sure the parents and the kids appreciate it, since the principal of Carver is over there right now, Mr. Thomas. So he appreciated the presence today. We just put the call out to see if brothers would actually come. I want to apologize. I put the call out, and I was on Lyons and Aldine. Everybody else was in front of the school. Y'all was at the right place. I was at the wrong place. But I appreciate us being a part of that all of the time. So, who is interested in getting with their folks to get some of these contracts that are coming into this town? That's good. Who is interested in identifying a plot of land and building on a plot of land? That's good. So I want us to begin to make that actually really take place. Why? Because I'm tired of going into having conversations with people about people that are coming in and taking over my city. When the people here have the first right of refusal, you have the first opportunity. I didn't take a train to New York City and have a meeting in New York City and pass out no land plots to the people of New York City. They found out the land that's available on their own. I didn't go to Milburn and pass out all the things that we contract for the city. They got on the newspapers and looked at the bids, and they responded to that stuff on their own. You got a head start. Somebody gave you the information. Now you have to do something with it. And I hope, somebody told me that some of these people are not going to do nothing because I gave it to them, which is really terrible. But I was talking to somebody else who said to me, Mayor, I don't vote because it doesn't do anything. My neighborhood looked this way with all of the black mayors that was down there. That has always looked this way, is going to continue to look this way. And I couldn't deny that. But what I did say, however, is if you're waiting for somebody to fix your neighborhood, then you're going to be waiting to the end of time, because nobody is interested in fixing your neighborhood while you live there, right? So, as long as you are there, they won't come. When you leave, then they show up, and they put signs on the trees that say, "We buy houses," because they want to buy your house. We buy buildings because they want to buy your building. You standing in front of the building that somebody else bought, and you angry at them because they bought a building that you stood in front of for 20 years. When you got all your money on the street doing whatever you was doing, back and forth, nobody had a conversation about the building that's been behind them for 15 years, about how can we buy this building and do something different on this block. So now you're mad at the mayor, you're mad at council people, you're mad at the guy who bought the property. When are you going to talk to your boys who sit around all day talking about people they've never met, things they never come across, arguing with each other about other people's lives, about athletes and superstars and music people and musicians and people who don't live in their neighborhood, who don't live in their community, who are not in their life, and argue with each other about this stuff, but you've never had a conversation about what's going on the street that you live in. Never. So now is your opportunity. One of the reasons that we don't, because listen, when you go to somebody else's neighborhood, they're going to fix it up. Not only are they going to fix it, they're going to stop you from destroying it. I was in my vehicle with my guys. We driving down Clinton Avenue. There's some guys who now won't say who they are. They obviously not from here. Was on their skateboards, destroying the median thing by Lincoln Park. Right across the street, though, it was all of us was out there. We ain't not us, but us. Us. All of the tough guys and everybody else who's selling drugs to their community, their mama, everybody all across the street. They right there in the middle of one of the worst situations. Somebody just got shot there this summer, and they just destroying the thing. We just fixed that. You know the Lincoln Park thing? I just fixed that. I had to get out of my car and say, "Hey, sir, hey, do you live here?" "No." "Well, why are you destroying this? Why are you doing this?" "Oh, we don't mean nothing by taking pictures and video. We didn't mean nothing by it. We don't know disrespect. It's messed up right here. We didn't do this. Somebody did it." But you know what really bothered me? I can't go do that in their neighborhood. I can't get my skateboard and bike and go to public property and destroy it in the name of recreation and fun in somebody else's community. The people on that block would call the police on me. But the people across the street allowed that to go on in their neighborhood without checking them, because we don't have any respect for our neighborhood. But let you go stand on the block in front of their neighborhood and see how long you get to stand there. See how long you get to stand there, because our problem is the thing says, love your brother as you love yourself. That's what the book says, love your brother as you love yourself. Doesn't it say that? They say that, right? Love your brother as you love you. Here's the problem with that. What if you don't love yourself? Here's the problem. Love your brother as you love yourself. But what if you don't love yourself? You can't love your brother because you don't love yourself. You hate yourself, but you hate your brother. You hate the very manifestation of your brother because you hate yourself. And I don't care what you say, how you feel, you hate him because you don't like yourself. Because you've been raised to hate yourself. You've been raised, so you can't, and so it's difficult for us to start businesses with each other. Hell, it's difficult for us to speak to each other. Never mind start a business with each other. It's difficult for us to partner and fix our community and our neighborhood and change what's going on because we wrong by nature and they right. That's what we believe. Everybody else is right and we wrong. How can I love you when I don't love me? And if I never had an example of a father or a man who loved me and my family, how am I going to express love to my children and anybody else? How? How if nobody exhibited love to me as a man, how do I show that love to other people? I don't even know what it looks like, what it resembles. I don't know what it feels like. So how do I show love? Show me love. How am I going to show you love and nobody showed me love? I don't even know what love looked like. So if love showed up, it would be a stranger to me. If love walked in this room, most of us wouldn't recognize it because we never saw it before. We never saw, we don't know what it looks like. All we know is what they talk about it on TV or the music or songs and all that, but we don't know what it actually is. So we can't show love because we don't know how to do that, right? So it's clear. It's clear to me why we don't like each other, why we can't say I apologize. Let's work through this. While the sickness and demons inside of us, we've been trying to destroy ourselves for 15, 20 years. Now you just want me to start loving somebody else. I just got used to treating myself good. I just started treating myself good yesterday. So now you want me to start treating this guy a certain type of way? I just figured that out. So in order for us to get these things done that I'm asking you to do, we have to talk about these things. Because we'll start it and it'll disappear as quick as we start. We'll begin it at each other's throats right when we get it done. I send you downtown and somebody gonna say something to you that's gonna be discouraging. I guarantee you that's gonna happen to you. Somebody gonna say something to you that's discouraging, disparaging, disrespectful. They're gonna say something to turn you around. They're going to say something to you to make you angry, upset. They're going to force the difference between you and the other guy who you're working with, make you distrust him, dislike him, and before you know it, you're separating ties from him because somebody whispered something in your ear because they want you to break it up anyway. So you're trying to separate yourself from something because you don't know you can love and disagree at the same time. You don't know that in disagreement, in love is disagreement. That you're going to disagree, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. It's when the disagreements turn to plot. But there's only one person, only people benefit from seeing us plotting on each other and separating from one another. You know, I'm going to shut up. There's a story in a book about a man named Joseph, brother, who was given a fancy coat. His father gave him a coat, gave him a beautiful coat, and because he walked out with that coat, his brothers got jealous of him because he had a fancy coat on, and his father gave him that coat because he was the favorite son, so he gave him a fancy coat. Automatically, his brothers was jealous of him because his coat was a little different than theirs. And they thought that somehow, that he thought he was better than them because he had a fancy coat. Then he started getting dreams, you know. He started getting these dreams, like seeing these visions. Then he made the mistake to start telling them dreams. He made a mistake. You know, like the mistake I'm making by telling you the things that what needs to happen and what's going on in the city and all the stuff that I'm giving you. You know the mistake I'm making today. He made a mistake and started telling his people his dreams, telling his brothers his dreams. And when they heard his dreams, they started saying, "Oh, you think you're going to be in charge of us? You think you're going to rule us? You think that you're better than us?" And you know what they did? They plotted to kill him. They plotted to kill him. They threw him in a well, in an empty well. Then they decided to take him out of the well and sell him off. Then they decided to sell them off. And all was based on envy. And I have to talk about that if we're going to move forward, gentlemen. All of it is based on envy. Envy is dangerous. It's dangerous. Sometimes your brother has something that you don't have. So that's why at the other meeting I told you what I'm asking you to do is dangerous, right? I put because I brought Street Doc up here and talked about his business, I done put a bullseye on the brother's back. I might as well stab him myself. Just by asking him to do that, fostered envy. Some of us were in here, that nigga, from the beginning. So, yeah, as soon as that happened, that envy and jealousy set in immediately. And that's what happened. See, bro, he got a nice coat, I want that. Because you think you can't have it. You think you can't have it, so the only way you can get it is take his. You don't believe you have in you what he has in him, so the only way that you possibly could get that is by destroying him and taking his. Because they took Joseph's coat. They took it. So there's that envy we have to get rid of, because you know what will happen? We'll be harming each other. Because I done told you to set up businesses, and I'm egging you on, I'm beating you over the head. 4 or 5 people been set up something. We'll have 5 or 6 individual businesses all doing the same thing, all 6 of them, and none of them can actually do the job. Let me just say that again. Let's be clear. I would say let's set up a business, and we'll all think of the easiest thing to set up because we want to get it done because we're thinking about the money and not the process. So, and we don't have the patience. We don't have the patience because we want it today, right now. So that's why everybody got a damn barbershop. We'll all set up the same business, right? We'll all set up the same, all 6 of us, but we can't do the job that the thing requires, so none of us get it. And then we blame each other because we said, oh, he only doing it because we did it. Or we start stealing and putting each other down and trying to destroy each other's business. And nobody will say, hey, brother, why don't we have a meeting and talk about how to, since none of us is making any money off of this, how about all of us get together and form something collective and get the contract ourselves? And then we can split that on this project, and we all make a little bit more money, then we can go our separate ways if that's what you like. But today on this project, let's get together and make this thing happen together, right? But that's difficult. So I know you don't know why I want to talk about him. I'm not saying that just because I want to hear my voice. I'm saying that because I am a black man. And I grew up in that town. I know what I'm accusing you of, I'm guilty of the same. No, not one. No, not one. That I'm guilty of the same. So, because I know that, I know I have to speak to us about envy and jealousy and self-hatred, which will not allow us to get together. We will suffer individually and talk about each other's suffering as opposed to swallow our ego and come together, right, and build something so that we can win just a little bit. We feel better if I get to put the brother down as opposed to say, I see Street over there struggling and I'm over here struggling. I'm going to go to his spot, knock on his door and say, Street, let's get together, man. Please. For 50 buildings, I only could do one, you only could do one. I'm tired of subcontracting. These people killing me. I'm not making no money. Let's get together and let's get the bid ourselves. That sounds right, don't it? That's what we should do. That's what all of us need to do. But in order for us to do that, we got to kill those devils. You got to kill them. And it's difficult because, you know, it was planted in us at very, very young ages. So it's actually like fighting yourself. It's like fighting yourself. You every day you battling with yourself to destroy self-hatred. That's why I don't get so angry. Like people be like, oh, these people talk about you, they do this, why are you not upset? I know that they are self-hating and they don't have the information, they don't have knowledge of themselves, they don't love themselves, so how can they love me? They hypocritical to themselves, so how can they be genuine with me? They ain't even sincere to themselves, how can they be sincere to me? I don't expect sincerity because you don't know how to treat yourself. We walk ourselves to death. So how am I going to help my brother live? And hopefully, the next time we have this meeting, and I keep saying we're going to keep doing it, have thousands of people. Thousands. That's what I want. We need thousands of people up here. We need thousands of men because there's problems in our community. It's problems. And the people who complain about the problems, see, the folks who complain, we have to do something about it. When I stood there in front of Carver on the side, one guy walk his kid from school. Just one. When I was a principal, I barely seen any men come to the building at all. At all. It's people on the corner who are addicted to drugs, begging babies for money. And the blocks I go to, I see groups and groups of men in huddles who used to be 15, now they 51, sitting on a crate in front of a liquor store. That's somebody's father, somebody's grandfather. How did he get dejected, discouraged, disrespected? How did he get from there to that spot? You mean this man who you said was great, the descendant of the original people, how did he get there on a corner, on a crate in front of a liquor store, begging sixth graders and seventh graders for quarters as they walk away from school? And how do you know that you're not becoming that? How do you know you won't be him? And what are you doing to stop yourself from being that? Or are you waiting for somebody to give you something that you won't take anyway? You're waiting for somebody to come down and hand something to you that they won't give you. You think somebody owes you something, and they do, but the people who really owe you will never pay. They will never pay. They're not gonna pay. Don't you see? They're not trying to pay. And so now you stuck. How do you know? I'm a principal. I saw boys in schools who hate their father. The majority, we all men. The majority of the boys in high school hate their fathers. I'm telling you something I know, because I talk to them and they say it. They call them all kind of choice words. F this and in that and this thing and that thing. They hate their father. So what system was created so our children hate their fathers, and how can they become men if they despise the man in their family? They hate him. And you know the real cyclical part of it is they hate their father, but then they become him. Then they become him. They become the very thing that they hate because there is something, right? There is no direction, no blueprint, no leadership. Nobody saying anything to them, so they do it naturally. They do it naturally. Somebody has got to disrupt it. And I've been here all my life. I figured out that we can't disrupt it just with words. The word is powerful. I believe the word is powerful and that words can move mountains, but we have to do something. What does it mean? They have to see you in power. They have to see you in power, and you made them believe that being in power is to carry a gun, right? That as long as they had a gun, that they would have power. So they're trying to get the thing that they think will give them power, so they got a gun. So now they're dead on a dirty sidewalk in the middle of the night with a gun on their hip and still got murdered. Or they had a gun in their car that they couldn't get, so they're trying to reach the gun. And we're teaching them that power comes through this gun, so they're desperately trying to get that. They want fame. They want to be important. They want people to respect them. That's why they said, don't disrespect me. They want people to respect them. So they're doing everything they can to get respect, to get power, to be in charge, to have people praise them. But nobody told them how to get it, so they're following the wrong thing. So I figured out in my mind that the only way we fix what's going on in these kids' twisted minds is show them men with real power. They have to walk home and see that you own the corner store. And when they walk by, they got to come out and you give them $1 and not the old black man on the corner asking a 15-year-old for $1. You're supposed to be giving them a damn dollar. They're not supposed to walk the street and say, can I have, and you asking them, they ask you for $1. It's supposed to be the reverse. They got to come home and see you own the store. They got to see you the cop and not just the beat cop. You got to be in charge. They want to see you in charge. That's what they want to see. When they ride the street, who fixing the streets? Not us. Who building the buildings? Not you. When things go wrong, who we call to get it straight? Not your daddy. When things is broken, who fixes it? When somebody break into your house, who you call? They got to see us. They got in power, not begging, not scrambling, not wrestling with each other, not cursing our brothers out, not fighting with your uncle, your cousin, your brother, your father. And they grow up in an environment seeing that they didn't see us working together. That's how we change this thing. Other than that, lose. It's a game where we lose all of the time. And I'm tired of playing a game that ends in us losing. We lose. And I don't play the game no more. So I've stopped blaming you. I blame a system, like I said at the last meeting, I blame a system that was created that we fail. And they're recording this, so they know what I think. I'm not mad that I couldn't get the chair in musical chairs. I'm mad that there ain't enough chairs. I'm mad that they created a game, there's not enough chairs, and one of us has to lose. In order for me to win, I have to beat you. I may have to push you down. That's why we do that. Don't you see us on Facebook? We think that in order that we win, we kill him. That's what they do in the street. In order for me to win, I gotta murder you. In order for me to win, you die, I live. It's not enough for all of us. Even in politics, I gotta kill you in order for me to win. So I begin by trying to kill you. It ain't enough for all of us. So it's only 5 chairs and it's 20 of us. And the music start playing, dun, 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 we running around the chairs. And the self makes it worse because we don't like each other. So we're trying to kill each other before the game even started because we ain't done. We know mathematics. Look, it's only 20. There's 20 of us. There's 5 chairs here, big bro. Somebody ain't going to make it. Somebody got to die before the game even starts. We've already started that process. And so some of us become experts at it, and maybe we get a chair or 2. One for me, one for my uncle, one for my brother. Maybe we get a chair or 2. I know how that works, you know, because there's people who come and they argue with us because they want something for themselves. They don't give a damn about you. The only time they get with you in order to help them get something for themselves, right? So we fight each other, but nobody goes to the DJ and say, excuse me, sir, who made this game up? Turn the music off. We're going to get some more chairs first. Let's go get some more chairs. There's 5 chairs, there's 20 of us. I got an idea. We're going to get 15 chairs, and the hell with the damn music, we're going to all sit down here. That's what we're going to do, right? All of us sitting down, and if you don't like it, there's only one of you and there's 20 of us, you can get the hell out, and we're going to sit down here anyway, right? But we don't have that discussion. We all focused on one another. So we don't talk about a system that was created where people be unemployed. Because if you talk to them, they'll say, we in a system and somebody's got to be unemployed. And black people tell me this. Oh, somebody's got to be unemployed in capitalism. Somebody's got to be unemployed. Yeah, but why is it you? Who picked you? What, did you take the vote and say, oh, we want to be the unemployed ones? Did they come to Newark and say, everybody raise their hand who don't want nothing? Don't want a job, don't want health care, you raise your hand and you out of it and we're going to give everybody else that. That did not happen, right? And so and then when somebody comes to confront you and says, listen, we want you to be a part of something so that everybody could get a chair, you start talking about them. I think he is. He don't know this game has been created before he was even born. We've been playing this game for centuries. He come talking about we need more chairs. Man, listen, he just lazy. He need to run faster. I ain't with that. I like this game. I like it because I can win. Put us against one another. So what we're doing at these meetings, we're destroying the game. We're making a new game. That's what we're doing. We're making a new game. It's an open book test. It's an open book test. I'm going to give you all of the information. Now it's on you. It's an open book test. So it's like being locked in a supermarket. If you starve to death, it's on you. Right? That's what I'm doing, right? I'm giving you all that you need. You have to now take the information and do something with it. And remember, I'm telling you, because there's going to be a few people with you, because when in the middle of good people is always, right? So when angels show up, the devil shows up too. So at the end of the day, when people come, it's going to be somebody that's going to say, oh, when you go to City Hall, they're not going to do this, they don't like this, there's going to be this, there's going to be a problem. They're trying to talk you out of it, right? But don't let them talk you out of it, right? So go down there. I'm telling you in advance, when you go down there, some people are going to be disrespectful. Some people ain't going to want to help you. Some people are going to give you the runaround. Some people are going to give you information at night. Some people just could straight out be disrespectful to you. That's what's going to happen. And the person that says, oh, this is some BS, we shouldn't have done this anyway, that's the person you get away from. I'm telling you, because the person that's going to say it, you know, the person that's down there, oh, we shouldn't have done it. I knew this was some BS, right? Let them say that. When you go next time, don't invite them. You don't even have to have a fight. Don't bring them. Go on your own. Keep going. Why? Because it's yours. Claim it. Keep going down there till you get it done. Tell them I was in the mayor's men's meeting and this is what they said. Pull out the papers. How did you get them papers? The mayor gave it to me. How do you know where these lands are plots at? The mayor gave it to me at a men's meeting. How do you know these guys? The mayor gave me that information. Dave Muhammad told me how to do affirmative action. I got this thing down pat. I spoke to Jerome. The head of economic development was at the meeting too. They all came. I listened to them, and that's why I'm here. If you have a problem with them, you need to go see them brothers, because they told me to come here. They told me to come. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to build something on this block, whether you like it or not. And you can say all that, and you don't even have to be nasty. You don't have to raise your voice. You don't have to be disrespectful. You don't have to get the cops, because what they want to do is get you loud and crazy and all upset and huffy and puffy. Then they get the cops, and then you get thrown out, and you can't come in the building anyway, and then you defeated the whole purpose. You feel good for 15 seconds, but you ain't did a damn thing. It's like a rocking chair. You know, you make a lot of noise, a lot of things, but you ain't go nowhere. You went down there acting like a fool, now you still ain't got what you were supposed to get. Because you got to understand, their objective is to stop you from getting what you want. Your objective is to get what you need. And if you understand that, then you work to get what you need around all of the obstacles that they put in your place. And I'm telling you this in advance because I know how the devil works, and he's going to tell you straight up and down when you walk in that door that this is not going to work. As a matter of fact, at the first meeting when I first told you about the contracts, somebody put on Facebook that none of y'all are qualified to get contracts. Why is the mayor giving them all this false hope? None of them are qualified to get no contracts. And the guy who said it, father got a contract from the city years ago, right? But the reality, which is really ironic. But the reality is, who's trying to stop you from getting a contract? And why would they automatically believe you're not qualified? They don't know you. They don't even know your name. They've never met you in their life. You could be sitting in here, they don't know who the hell you are, right? But they think that because you look like them. That's self-hatred. If I could look in a room of 300 men and say that all 300 of them are not qualified to get a contract and I don't know them, then something's wrong, right? You don't know me. You don't know who's sitting in that room. It could be a millionaire audience for all you know. You don't know that. Oh, is that them people from Newark? The mayor is up there and they look like me. So ain't nobody qualified to get nothing in that audience. Why are you even telling them people anything? But they was wrong, right? They was wrong. There are people in here who are going to get something, they're going to make something happen out of this stuff, right? They was wrong. They was wrong. I'm going to tell you about another demon. Because you got to expose these demons, man. You know, there's another demon who hang around and try to get as much as he could get for himself. Let me tell you about these demons, right? So this is what they do. This guy will go to a place and say, I told you to say, excuse me, you have to have black people on this site, right? You have to have black people on this site. So I need to work. Okay, and they work. Then the people find out that there's no real connection to that, so they go down there and say, I need to work on this site. And the guy says, wait a minute, you don't look right, you can't work with us. Then they go to the council meeting and say, they're not hiring black people on the sites, right? They're not hiring black people on the sites. We need black people on the sites. They're not hiring black people on the site. He ain't never told you. He ain't got no company. He ain't organized nothing. He ain't pulling nobody together because it ain't about you, it's about him. So I don't want you to make it about just you. I want you to make it about all of us. So he goes to the meeting, find guys of getting black people contracts, but he only talking about himself. It's the same as people who don't eat pork, but sell it to you. You know those people? You know those people? Yeah. Salam alaikum you. They come there, you go in there, they got pork fried rice. And they're trying to figure out, hey, you don't eat pork, why you selling it to me? It's like people like that, you know, they don't smoke but sell you cigarettes. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful of those people who try to convince you to walk in their way. Because they're not interested in you, they're only interested in themselves. And as long as you get in their way, you become their victim until they can get what they want. I know how these people work. There's people, they take pictures. They'll be smiling. They're under a name on Facebook talking about me. Same guys. Same guys. Oh, they don't think, I know. Same guys. That's what they do. They you know, they, hey, let me get this picture. Why? Because taking a picture with me helps them with their scam. So when they take the picture with me, they can take the picture to the, to the site and says, I was with the mayor and I need this job on this site because I was with the mayor. They walk past you while you naked and out the door. You don't got nothing, a pot to piss in the window to throw it out of. They see you struggling, trying to put your company together. They walk right past you, go get the thing for themselves, and they don't say, get what they could get. They go right to the meeting and start black people don't have anything. We need this. They talking about they self. They ain't talking about us. I say, hey man, I'm telling you something real. I'm telling you something real, because they don't support us, they support themselves. And that's not what I'm about. I ain't got to tell you a damn thing. How about that? How about that? How about you go down there and get it the same way the people from New York and Melbourne and West Orange got the information? How about I don't give you nothing? Who else gave it to you? How about I don't give you nothing? I don't talk to you. I don't say nothing. Why are we having a men's meeting? Why not? I don't got to tell you nothing. I don't got to be here. My day was long to go home and go to sleep. And rest. That's why I don't have to come here, right? I don't have to be here. I'm already the mayor. I'm not trying to be the mayor. I don't have to do anything to be the mayor. I'm already the mayor. That's it. And guess what? If God don't want me to be the mayor, I won't be. I am not campaigning. I don't have to. Not now, not today. Nobody even declared yet. Have people say, oh, you're doing this for a campaign? Well, where the other person at? Where the other person at? There's no other person. I don't have to campaign. It's not a publicity stunt. I done gave Street the information already. I don't have to do this at all. At all. At all. And I'm confident enough that if it is somebody, I can defend myself. Because I've done a little bit of something. I've done a little bit of something. I might not have finished what I needed to finish, but I've done a little bit of something, right? So I'm okay. I can defend myself. I'm not sitting around twiddling my thumbs. I'm certainly not traveling the world while the city disappears. I know what it was when I walked in the door and what it looked like now, right? I know what it looked like when I came in that house and what we've been fixing. I know that, and I'm prepared to talk about it. How about that? So I'm not campaigning. What I'm doing is trying to build my community, and I realize that I can't do it myself. And somehow along the way, I figured out, I don't care how good I can speak, how magnetic I am, how all this stuff, it ain't gonna help nobody. Somebody got to buy a store or two. You don't like what they sell in the supermarket? Build your own damn supermarket. You hear what I'm telling you? You don't like what they sell in the supermarket? Build your own damn supermarket. We got the land. Build it. Build it. That's it. You don't like what the Star Ledger is putting on NJ.com? Start your own paper. You don't like the people that's cleaning the building in City Hall? Put your own cleaning company together. You do it. You don't like how your block look? Fix it. There's 15 abandoned properties on your block. You could get one for $30,000. You get one of them houses for $40,000, $50,000. Buy it. Put your boys together. Invest. Fix it up. It's empty land. You can get empty land as a nonprofit for like $2 a square foot. Get it. Build something. You don't like it? Fix it. The whole block is empty. The whole neighborhood is empty. Bergen Street is empty. Clinton Avenue is empty. South Orange Avenue is empty. What you waiting for? It's a whole lot next to Hawthorne Avenue School. It's a mess. All acres of land is just a mess. Get it. Build something. Make it happen. You don't like them people on the corner store, they selling other people bad stuff? Put them out your neighborhood and buy and get the store. Build your own store. That's what you're supposed to do. Hell, there was a time when we didn't like the schools, we built our own schools. Stop being a victim in the richest city in the state, where hundreds of thousands of people come from 9 to 5 and make themselves wealthy and send their kids to private school than go back where they came from. While your kid is doing donuts in a stolen car on 18th Avenue. Something. I go down there and fight with those longshoremen. People talk about me on Facebook because I'm fighting the longshoremen. One fool said, oh, they entry-level jobs. Yeah, they entry-level jobs. They just start at $60,000, fool. They got their kids entering entry-level. Your kid is in front of the bodega selling caps and bottles and bags. And he don't do that until he goes, and maybe he made $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. It ain't enough. They made twice that, 3 times that in a year, and don't have to turn around, look at nothing. Nobody's chasing them. They don't got to go to jail. They're making a lot of money. Doing nothing. They're not scientists. They checking things that's in a container. It's 10 things in the container when it came. They have to make sure it's 10 things in the container when it gets there, and there's 10 things in the container when it leaves. And they don't even got to count it. They got a machine that can check it for them. Choop, 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 choop. But you can't have that job. You can't have it because it ain't for you. And if I told you to go get it, you're going to be too damn scared to go down there and get it, and you're going to talk about the men who do. And then one guy said, well, what happened with that? We didn't follow through. Okay, did you follow through? We letting this stuff go on in our community. We not doing a thing. A thing. I'm suing the pharmaceutical companies. I'm suing them for Percocets and Molly's and heroin. I'm suing them. You didn't see that? I'm suing the pharmaceutical companies. And we're going to sue the record companies too. We get ready to add the record companies to the suit. I'm talking to the lawyers now. How can we add the record company to the lawsuit? It's like, do you want to sue the rapper? No, I want to sue the record company. What the hell I want to sue a rapper for? You see how they try to do all that, convert into something else? I don't want the rapper. Because he couldn't even get it to you unless they distributed it. They know what it say. Let you get on the record and talk about them and see how many people get to listen to it. But they selling our babies Percocet, Molly Percocet. Suing them. That's what these meetings are for, man, to get you to get a backbone. That's why I want you to have a backbone. Stop walking around afraid, scared. I know I'm not afraid of nothing. Oh, yes, you are. You're scared to death. That's why we ain't did a damn thing, because you're scared. You're scared to take a risk. You're scared. You're scared. And you attack your brother because you think he's an easy target. You're scared because the real enemies are destroying your neighborhood and you won't do anything. You're not even going to lift a finger. You won't even raise your voice. You backslap your woman, but you ain't backslapping the guy who got you living this way. That's what we're doing. So at the next meeting, I'm going to give you the information again. I'm going to bring the land and the contracts again. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do one better. I'm going to bring you the contracts where we're getting ready to bid on immediately. The ones we're getting ready to send an RFP out, I'm going to give you those. And then the thing, if you was listening, if you're not prepared to bid on the whole thing, remember what I said, just wait, pay attention, wait until they win the bid. But prior to that, you got to get on this thing, establish your business, LLC, get you a WBE. When they win the bid, you just wait in the wings and you wait for them. You know how to do that. We learned how to do it. You know how to do that. You certainly know how to catch somebody by surprise. You know how to wait in the wings for a guy. Ain't out. So as they get it, excuse me, sir, how are you? I'm great. I'm having a good day. How are you? Hey, did you see this law? This is the city law, ordinance 4367. Says that you need to have 20% has to be a minority subcontractor. I happen to have that business. And guess what? I'm a state certified minority contractor. We can solve all of this. All you have to do is hire us, and we'll take care of this problem for you. You won't have no other problems. And you know what? Somebody when they watch the tape tomorrow, because they're gonna watch the tape, they're gonna try to misconstrue this and say that I'm telling you to push up and strong arm somebody. So let me make it clear. I'm just make it real clear. So the law says that you have to have a minority subcontractor. And if they in your neighborhood making money, if you push up on them, then something's wrong with you. Right? And then go to the meeting and complain that there is no business for you because you're looking for jobs when there's only 5 chairs. And all of the money is out there with somebody else who's making these contracts. They set the 5 chairs up for you. So we're fighting each other for the same 5 jobs when you could be making jobs for your brothers by getting the contracts yourself. You could tell your brother, you don't have to go play that game. Come and work over here with us. Leave that alone. It's a setup. You can do that now. And you should do that. Oh, but you're waiting for me. How many millionaires did you make? People ask me that all the time. And you know the people who usually ask me that? People who've been in power for a long time. Or they out of power or something. How many millionaires did you make? And I'll be dying to throw it back in their face, but I don't want to do that. I'm taking the challenge. And they're right. And see, and I'm just not trying to make millionaires. I'm trying to build my community. So if you become a millionaire because of any of this stuff that we give you, and you don't do nothing for this community or this neighborhood or this city, then you're the problem. Because I'm not interested in making you a millionaire. I told you about the place I went to. They wanted to give us a few jobs. So if I was like everybody else, because they've been doing this for years, they said, we can give you a few jobs. And I could have easily said, I'll take a few jobs. I know 6 people who need jobs. They'll be happy. They'll love me forever. Like, the mayor is great. He got me this job down here. Well, I didn't want that. I turned that down. I said, I don't want that. I don't want 6 jobs. I don't want that. I want a percentage of the jobs that happens down there. I want a percentage all the time. I don't understand what you're used to dealing with, but I don't want 6 jobs. I want a percentage. The percent of the wealth that we create in this city based on this, that's the percentage of jobs that I want. That's what I want. That's right. Yeah, I want all of those right here. Give them to me, right? And here's the last thing, and I'm gonna shut up. Dave talked about tax abatements. You know, the city just passed a new ordinance. This is for all of you would-be contractors out there. Just passed a new tax abatement ordinance that I actually had to fight to get passed, by the way. I mean, that's a whole nother meeting that we need to have about self-hatred and niggardliness. That's a word. I'm not saying anything that's disrespectful. Niggardliness. Look it up. Right? So we could talk a little bit about self-hatred and niggardliness, but at the end of the day, the tax abatement ordinance says that if you get a tax abatement in this city, you don't just need a subcontractor, you need a minority co-developer. That's different. That's different. See, you know, a subcontractor is, I could get the plumbing and I can give it to you to do part of the plumbing on this construction site, and I'll settle my score or what I owe the city. But co-developer means that I have to be a partner on the overall project. So it's getting really dangerous around here. It's getting really, gentlemen, it's getting really, really dangerous. There's some people who've been developing in this city, a house here, 2 houses there, 3 houses there, a building here. Get yourself bonded, get yourself together, figure out what you're going to do, strengthen your company, put people together. When they build those buildings that's going to go on the waterfront, when they build those buildings that's going to go around Mulberry Commons by Prudential, when they start coming up Springfield Avenue, when they start coming up at the base of Clinton Avenue, and you can see it happening a little bit now, when they start doing this stuff, you show up at the door and say, hey, I have an MWBE, I am a minority developer in this city, I'll be the co-developer on this project. You mean city ordinance, tax abatement, minority co-developer? In order to develop that, you need a minority co-developer, brother. And in order for you to get this project done without the city harassing you, you need me to be on this project with you. Don't worry about it. We'll get through this. We'll get through it. We just passed that law, right? Laws take 30 days to go into existence, so that maybe it was a couple of weeks ago. Just count them down. You might got a couple more weeks to go, and bam, here it is. So you got a little bit of time to get yourself together, not a lot, but get yourself together, get it together real fast, and then you start showing up at these developers fight like cats and dogs. They ain't want that. They was cool with the little bit of housing here and there. They fight a little bit about inclusionary housing and fight a little bit about what they had to pay for the inclusionary housing, but they wasn't really cool with that minority co-developer thing. They're not really cool with that. They're not cool with it. And the other part of the inclusionary zoning saying, and I'm telling you this so you have the information, not to blow my horn so you know. So the other part of that is this, check this out. So it tells them, say if I'm building a building downtown and I want to make it 100% market rate, I don't want to put no affordability in a project. So I come to economic development and I say, my project is not going to be able to get done if I put affordability in it because it costs me too much money. The ordinance says you could do 2 things. You could pay $50,000 per unit to the city to do affordable building across the city, or you can do this. Nowhere else in the country you can do this. The city can identify 15, 16, 5, 6, whatever, abandoned properties, and you develop those properties and gotta sell it to people at cost, right? So you can't make any money off of it. You got to sell it to them at cost. So whatever it costs you to build or rehabilitate the property, you got to charge that. So if it only costs you $70,000 to rehabilitate the property, then you got to sell it for $70,000. This is why I'm saying that. Not because I think you want to buy houses, and you should encourage other people to buy houses, but what if you're a contractor too? And you're paying attention to everything that's going on, especially if you need a minority co-developer, and it's all first source ordinance says, look, brother, I understand that you have to build 16 houses over there. I just got this small contracting company that I could be a part of that. 2 birds with 1 stone. I could develop all these properties for you, all 15, all 16 these properties. I could develop them for you. Then I call my relatives, hey, I just developed a property. We only put $70,000 in the property. They got to sell it for $70,000. Call your cousin and your grandmother, tell them to put their money in and get this property right here. You don't think that's how other people do it? That's what you do. Then you develop that. You know it's being developed because you're a part of the development. You building it. You build the whole thing. And when you finish building it, then you call your cousins. Baby, where y'all at? Y'all still down there? Listen, we just built this property. It's banging up here. We only spent $65,000. Do you know if you get a mortgage on a house that's $65,000, it's like paying less than the rent you're paying now. That's not just affordable rent, that's affordable home ownership. We have spent, even if they put $150,000 in the house, even if they spent $150,000, a mortgage on $150,000 is the rent you're paying now. If you're paying $1,400 a month, $400 a month, that's what you're going to pay less than that for the mortgage on a house at $150,000. I'm telling you something that's facts. That's facts. Now, if you're the contractor and you're developing the property, now there's nothing wrong with you telling everybody the property is finished and is for sale. Ain't nothing criminal about that. Let them know. And I told 50 people, and 5 of them happened to be my relatives. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Let them know, right? So I'm fighting with people to get this stuff done because they can't see what I see. And because of self-hatred, they want to disrupt it and destroy it before it even begins. We used to being in the well. We like the without water. We used to being in a pit, in a cistern. We like being in a cistern. We used to being in a hole. We like being in a hole. We used to having nothing. We like having nothing. We like the devil because he gave us nothing. We like nothing. We want nothing. We will fight you if you try to give us something because we're used to nothing. We don't want anything. We like to fight because we have nothing. And then we walk around and we parade, brag about the fact that we don't got nothing. We have marches and rallies based on the fact that we will always have nothing. And if anybody tell you we're going to get something, they say, why are you building those people's hopes up? Well, that's what we're supposed to do, build people's hopes up. And if people have hope, they have courage. If they have courage, they get off their ass and do something about the condition in their neighborhood and not walk around poked out complaining about stuff that they can fix anyway. That's what's going on around here. And I'm okay. I sacrifice myself for that. I will take all the blows for you. All of them. But you got the information already. You don't need me. I'm not asking you to come and stand with me at no meetings or fuss and fight with me. All I want you to do is take advantage of it all. Make the devil a liar. That's all I want you to do. I want you to own Clinton Avenue. Own it. Own Bergen Street. Own it. That's what I want you to do. Own it. Have it all. All of us collectively. I want you to own it. I don't want people to say, oh, they took our city. Oh, this is like Brooklyn. I'm arguing with a lady who came from Brooklyn. This is going to be like Brooklyn. No. No. This is not Brooklyn. It's not Crown Heights. It's not Bed-Stuy. This is not these places. This is not the place. This is not here. This is Newark. This is Newark. No, this is not going to be that place. This is another place. And if your experience in Brooklyn tainted what you think can happen here, I get that. But listen, we're not doing that here. I bet you the mayor and the borough chief in Brooklyn didn't have no meeting with all of the brothers over there and gave them the information and told them, look, it's time for you to do the stuff that they're doing. I bet you they didn't do that either. All right, so no, that ain't gonna happen. Y'all just woke up one day and things was different. You woke up one day and everybody was different. There were skateboards and people sitting on curbs. You came out the house and it was your rent was up and everything was gone and you didn't know anything. It was boom, bam, and everything has changed. That's not happening here. I gave you the information. Now the blood is on your hands. It's off my hands and it's on yours. You won't require my blood for what's happening here today. I'm putting the onus on you so the blame can come off of me. So I have selfish reasons for telling you because I don't want to be the blame for what happens in the city. I'm giving you what you deserve and need so you can change the damn city. Part of what's going on. And if you don't do it, it's your fault. It ain't mine. The blood is off my hands. Now do something with it. That's what I'm telling you. It's a fact. Now, the next meeting, we need to have 5 times more people here than this meeting here. And you got to be a surrogate. And I know some of you don't want to do that because you want it all to yourself. Niggardliness. You don't want to help nobody because you just want it for yourself, you know. And there's some people who came in here and left because they were spying. But you don't have to spy. You can watch it on 78. It's going to be and my father told me a long time ago, if you can't say it in court, don't say it at all. So at the end of the day, everything I'm giving you is free. It's free. It's public information. You could have got this on your own. I'm telling it to you. That's what makes it dangerous, because the mayor is advocating that these guys build houses and sell it to their family. I heard him say it on Channel 78. He's advocating that they go and get these contracts for the city. I don't know what's going on. So they're going to be all on me, on my phone, in my house, in my living room, in the trunk of my cars. They're going to be everywhere, all around me. Why? Because I'm telling you something that people have been trying to hide from you for years. I'm telling you, I'm giving you this information and telling you what to do, how to get it. That we set up the system so you could go and be a part of the growth and wealth in this city. And I'm telling you to lay down your ego, your envy, your jealousy, and your niggardliness, your stiff-necked, stubborn, and stinginess, and that you've learned, and allow your brother to eat too. That when people tell you there's not enough money, they are lying. You are in the richest nation in the world. There is enough money. It is a lie. If the president can raise the military budget by $7 billion, there is enough money. There's enough money. You don't have to kill your brother to eat. You don't have to murder your neighbor to eat. That's like a riddle. Go tell the boys on the corner, wear a shirt. You don't have to kill him to eat. He can live and you still eat. There is enough for all of you to eat. We all can eat. There's enough. That's just like there's only 3 positions that everybody in the city fight for. There's enough for all of us. There's enough. Did you know there's enough for all of us to do? There's so much for us to do. We haven't even begun doing the things that we need to do. There is enough. We are the majority in this county. Black and brown people, Essex County, are the majority. There is enough. There's enough money, enough space, enough land, enough resources. You don't have to murder each other. You don't. You don't have to kill each other. And you can own everything in your block. And now the tools exist so you can get it. You're going to have to fight, though. You're going to have to fight. This system wasn't designed based on kumbaya. The Indians paid. We paid. You're going to have to fight. If you don't think you're going to have to fight, don't get involved. I'm telling you now, you might as well do what you was doing. Don't get involved. And here's another secret. The people you're going to fight are going to look like you. I'm just telling you, if you're waiting for the white man to show up, you got the wrong thing. That's the wrong stuff. Somebody told you lies. The people you're going to fight, they're going to look like you. I'm telling you. That's what that's what's going to happen. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I hope you got that straight. I hope you figured that out, that you're going to have to fight. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And you don't have to give me a dime, a nickel, a penny, a quarter. I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. You don't have to give me nothing. You don't even have to give me praise. Do what you're supposed to do. That's what you do. Do what you're supposed to do. And let your babies, when they say your name, say it with pride. When your babies say your name, let them say it with pride. When they see you, let them say, that's my father. That's all. Let them say that when you walk. Let them say, tell their friends, that's my dad over there. And not show them your face on a computer, you in a box somewhere thousands of miles from home. They need to see us. That's the best part of me being a mayor. When I go on the street and the young kids say, you the mayor? I say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Little kid today, two of them ran up to me this big. One of the ladies was like, oh, they shouldn't be afraid of you. They're not afraid. It's called respect. It's called reverence. And the problem is our kids don't revere anything. They don't even revere God. They don't revere anything. They don't have any respect for anything. Right? So we destroy the respect because we don't respect each other, so we're trying to destroy their respect. So I told the lady, it's not fear, they just respect the position. It ain't me. So I don't have an ego. I think they respect me. They don't know me. That's why they asked me, am I the mayor? They respect the position. And that's okay. And it feels good for them to see somebody that looked like them in that position in their neighborhood, on their block, that they can walk past and touch. Because on the block home, they could touch drug dealers, junkies, fiends, everybody. Not the mayor. They get to do that. Another young man walked all the way from across the street. How you doing, Mr. Mayor? I go to Eagle Academy. I just want to, just happy, barely could talk. I'm trying to get it out of him. What's your name? What you doing? What's going on? I'm trying to get him to talk. He's just excited that the mayor is in his neighborhood. And he would be excited if any of you was the mayor. But guess what? You don't have to be the mayor. You could be something else. You could be something else. You could be the guy who owns the stores on the block. You could be the guy who does the basketball leagues. You could be the guy who owns the houses on the corner. You could be the guy that they say, hey, are you such and such? Wow. Wow. You're in my neighborhood, on my block. Wow. Maybe I could do that one day.